Good morning and welcome to TWINN number 66 on this fine Monday morning, where in 5 minutes or less, I plan on sharing with you some stories that we need to pay attention to. But first, let's talk about the state of cryptocurrency. By now, it's become increasingly obvious that countries all over and their central banks are planning or have already introduced some form of digital currency. Now, some have even introduced interesting properties like expiry dates. The digital yuan has exactly done that, which will obviously have the desired effect of having people spend it or lose it. But more on that on a different day. One key principle for us to all understand is the location of our money. Just like in the fiat world, we can have cash in our wallet or under our mattress, or it can be in the bank. We have the same sort of concepts that are either custodial or non-custodial. Now, with Bitcoin specifically, it was designed at the outset to be distributed where you hold your own wallet in the form of bits on your hard drive. That is now referred to as the non-custodial method. And it turns out it's actually very easy to keep a secret. It's very easy to keep those bits safe from prying eyes. But everyone knows someone who has already lost their Bitcoin for one reason or another. Accidental erasure, a crashed hard drive, or an encrypted file with a forgotten password, for example. So along came a much easier way, which was to use a custodial method. This is where your exchange actually holds your crypto tokens, and you have the elegant experience of an app where you buy and sell cryptocurrency with a few taps. Now, this has the net effect of thousands or even millions of people's assets being centralized, which makes it a natural target for thieves and hackers. So along comes our latest of many over the past 5 years. These attacks have a pattern of repeating. So our conclusion, or my conclusion specifically, is that the non-custodial method is still the best for any serious investor because you do not need to depend on anyone else's security policies. You are completely in charge, so go non-custodial. In our next story, we have a long read that is very worthwhile, where some of China's state hackers have been unmasked. And this is a worthwhile read because it really is about understanding the length that someone will go to cover their tracks. But at the end of the day, there's layers and layers and layers of secrecy, and sometimes only some of them are revealed. And we find out that this is really nothing new, but people getting scam texts from themselves more now than ever. And it does remind me of the days when we used to get email from ourselves. So if this does happen to you, clearly it is not legitimate. And so, however, for the scammers and spammers, this is an easy way for them to not have to cycle through new sending numbers by just faking the source to be yourself. And unfortunately, Ukraine, their largest internet service provider, has experienced another denial of service attack. And this just shows that even though it's 2022, it's still very difficult to defend against a distributed denial of service attack. And last but not least, Apple has now had another number of 0 days that need to be patched and have been patched. So as usual, you know what to do. Go to your iPhones, your iPads, and your Macs and make sure that you have the latest updates, or even better yet, have your managed service automatically push those updates. Now, if 15.4.1 is not available to you, make sure you remove the beta software profile. And did you know that Dante is now Mac M1 compatible? Many people use this as a way of having an Ethernet-based sound device. And it's nice that it's now natively supported on Mac M1s. Take care and see you next week.